Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to after lunch session, and here we have Kyle Bloor, and he's going to share about foundation of any successful e-commerce store. So he's going let me hand over to you, so he can share. He needs some URL also for testing because he said that he can do some real-time testing of your URL. So if you provide into the chat, then we can provide him through our internal system. Kyle, over to you.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so we're doing this webinar in partnership with Cloudways. I'll give you a little introduction about myself and our company. So I have 8 years experience as a Magento developer. And in the past 3 years, I've joined MageCloud. Now, MageCloud.agency is what I'm representing here. But MageCloud.agency was born from MageCloud.net, which is a one-of-a-kind Magento auto deployment tool. Not only can you deploy Magento onto a server, Magento 2, you can also choose a template and extensions from our library. And I know there's going to be a lot of developers and vendors watching this, so it's probably likely that you guys have downloaded some extensions before. Okay, so introduction to Cloudways. If you guys don't know Cloudways already, it's a managed Magento cloud server. Now, the great thing is about Cloudways is that we have a managed layer on top of DigitalOcean, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Vultr, with around 60 data centers across the world. So if I have a client in Germany, we can easily spin up a local server there. Likewise in UK, USA, wherever that is. Now, I don't want to be any sort of sales guy for Cloudways, but we really love it because say for instance, if you don't have a technical kind of DevOps engineer on your team, you've always got 24/7, 24/7 support from the Cloudways team, you know, installing modules, etc. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is the base of any e-commerce store. Now we're handling, like right now we've got 80 plus clients. We've worked on over 500 Magento stores and we specialize specifically in that. Now, the first thing we do, we're always doing like a site review for every client, because basically this is what we're going to talk about today is the foundations. We need to get the foundations correct if you want to run a successful store. So what I've done for the webinar is I've picked a few of the points, and at the end, like we're saying, is if you can post your Magento URLs into the chat, I'll pick one, and anytime we have left, I'll kind of do it on the fly, check, maybe show you some different things. Okay, so the first point we're going to talk about, like it's the basic, it's the first thing that I'm always checking when reviewing a site, and this goes for any e-commerce store really. So we want to make sure that the robots.txt is correctly configured. Now sometimes I come across this and there's no content in the robots file, so that's number one mistake. Now, even if there is content, what we need to do is make sure that they're disallowing the correct thing. So, for instance, with Magento, you really don't want to kind of index like catalog product compare, category view, catalog search, because what Google tends to do is it will do like the bots will crawl, it will do a search, and then it will index the search, the results. So that's duplicating content. Similarly with, I'm not sure on this specific one. So they haven't disallowed view ID also. As you guys probably already know, Magento's kind of URL structure, it's catalog category view ID. But often you don't want it to be that, so you change the URL. So we need to be disallowing them URLs really to avoid duplicating content, right? And one thing I've noticed about this particular robots file, they have not tried to disallow query strings. So you know, if you're searching on if you're going on like category view, for instance, on any Magento store, and you have like years, make, model, like limit 100, position, all that kind of stuff. So it's a very basic problem, and it makes a big impact because you don't really want to be you don't want to like waste your crawl spend and have duplicating content on Google Index. And that sort of thing is really good for SEO and Google's best practices also. Another thing as well that's very important is to include your sitemap in the robots file. Now, from the looks of it, this one doesn't have any sitemap. So what I'm usually checking, my first port of call .xml. So this is a common, oh, sorry, 1 second. This is a common, so this specific store has a sitemap specified here. Now, when I'm checking the sitemap as well, it's also very important that you generate it daily. I've seen a lot of Magento stores like generating monthly, generating weekly, but really if you're adding new content onto your website, if you're adding new products, you really want Google to pick it up straight away, or as quick as possible, should I say. So that's another important thing to kind of take note on. Okay, so the next point we're talking about, as I touched on before, is duplicating content. So if we're doing like some sort of Google search and we can see in URL limit, as you can see here, if with this specific store, can you see here like question mark limit equals 50? Although there's no products here, very often it's kind of redisplaying content that's already on the website again. So that's really like we don't really want any users to land on this page because they're going to bounce straight away. So that's another important thing to talk about. Okay, so Cloudways for agency. So what we found really interesting and really helpful with Cloudways is it allows us to manage all of our clients from one place. And not only that, we can build our own dev servers and dev applications all within the same kind of panel. So if you're if you guys are from an agency watching this, definitely the Cloudways, the way that the Cloudways is structured, it's really great for agencies to kind of manage their clients and test servers as well. Again, so I've got another example here of Bed Kingdom. Where are we here? 151. All of this is classed as duplicating content because it has the again the query string mode, and this is why it's so important to take care of this. Sometimes even in the robots file, even if you add the disallow for mode, you also have to disallow it on the filter as well. Obviously, nobody knows exactly what Google does, but we've definitely found that even adding it to the robots file, it still can appear in the search results. Like it's a very basic thing, and it's quite, it's harder to fix afterwards than if you do it right from the beginning. My next point. So again, it's kind of, where are we? It's kind of common that a lot of Magento stores, what we find is this one in particular, for instance, and I know there's pretty much no other. I think this client's trying to hide the site right now while it's in development, but still, I found this as a good example. So with the canonical tags, if you can see here, I don't know if you guys know what the canonical is, but it tells Google kind of what version of the URL to index. And this goes throughout the whole site, product pages, category pages, etc. Now, if you don't specify a canonical tag, you leave yourself open to stuff like this. As you can see here, http jjungle.com and then https www.jjungle.com. Now, I know specifically this client here wants to have the www prefix, but the non-www prefix is being indexed. So again, all of these things really kind of impact. This is like the basic stuff for any store, really. Okay, so basically, I'm going to talk on behalf of Cloudways right now. Again, not trying to be a sales guy, but just telling you some kind of real world problems that we've had. We have a specific client, and they came to us, and their initial like page queries was over 21,000 queries. Now, we've done some, don't get me wrong, we've done some profiling, we work closely with Cloudways. So we migrated it over the server to Cloudways with some other optimizations with the help of Cloudways. We got it down from 21,000 to basically 242,000 242 queries. So I mean, like that's what I mean. The team over there, like they're really happy to help, and like any issues you have, they've got experts on board to be able to kind of assist you with stuff like that. And we have again, so this Blau parts, for instance, this client in particular, we had a real problem with time to first byte and page fully loaded. So we've done a lot of work, not just the migration. We've done a lot of speed optimizations, but crucially, the time to first byte here was 3.3 seconds. Now, just from migrating over to Cloudways, we got the time to first byte to kind of 260 milliseconds. So as you can see, that has a massive impact. And again, like from here to here, we implemented like Redis. Cloudways allows you to easily integrate Redis. Varnish is very easy to set up on Cloudways as well. And I think this was a DigitalOcean node as well, because you do have different options, as I said before. Yeah, so that's kind of like really helped us with clients in that respect. Now, so yeah, I've kind of got through these pretty quick. So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna take you through maybe another. Actually, in fact, sorry, I missed one. So let me just pull up here. What we need to, another really important thing to consider, and what we find really increases conversion rates, is if you add social proof. So if I grab Advantage Auto Parts here, so what a lot of store owners are doing is they're gathering really great results for kind of in Trustpilot, reviews.io, and different sort of reviews systems. Now, not like a quick trick that a lot of vendors miss out on is just adding the star ratings in the header. This increases brand trust and like essentially conversions. Imagine like users never been on your site before, and the first thing they're doing is kind of looking, can I trust this website? So really, if you're adding these here with links to the real sort of Trustpilot, it seems they haven't added the link here, but if you link to like the Google and the Trustpilot, then your users can kind of get the social proof that they need and see the review, the 5-star reviews, etc. Now, these guys aren't one of our clients, so I'm not sure whether they have it in the basket. So I'm going to check now. Another great one is where we get a lot of drop-offs on any store is on the cart page. So I'm going to check the cart here. Okay, sign in or register. Let's try another one. Yeah, what we're finding is when we add these, when we add the like real technical error, when we add these real reviews in the cart page, we're really finding that we get a lot less drop-offs in the basket, in the cart page as well. That's took me straight to the checkout, hasn't it? My basket. Yeah. So as you can see here, like maybe I want to buy this bed, for instance, and it's a lot of money to invest, and I'm a little bit unsure. I'm thinking, well, can I really trust these guys? I mean, like, do I really want to spend this money? A really quick sort of win that we can have is somewhere appropriate, maybe somewhere around here, where you can have a carousel of sort of your Trustpilot, reviews.io. You can add some text like don't take our word for it, see what our lovely customers say, and then have a little carousel. And don't get me wrong, I know these kind of integrations, if you're doing them straight from sort of Trustpilot API, that can affect speed. So even if you just kind of screenshot a few really nice ones and add it as a carousel, even add the link there, I mean, that will solve your loading issue as well. And you find people really do kind of see this, and even subconsciously as well. Like subconsciously, it's all building trust, So, and pretty much, I think that's a brief summary of some of the points that we do in the reviews. So what I'd like to do now is, if anyone has a Magento URL that they would like to share, I can go through a few more points and explain as I go along, if that's okay. Are we here, guys? Can someone
Yep.
share a URL?
We are just waiting for the URL if someone is posting.
Yeah, we got through that a little bit quicker than expected.
Mm-hmm.
What else are we checking? I mean, like while we're waiting, I'll just go briefly through a few other points, like H1s as well. I mean, it's very basic, but H1 tells Google what the page is all about. Very, very often, even with high transacting stores, we find that like they don't even have a H1 tag on the homepage, or they have multiple versions of the H1 tag. So very quick win, just add a H1 tag to the homepage, even if it's sort of at the bottom somewhere. It still tells Google kind of what this page is all about. When I mentioned about the star ratings, once we've gathered star ratings from like Trustpilot, for instance, we can make virtual products on the category pages. So can you see here, all of these are category pages. That's where most users are going to land onto your website, or like sort of when you're in your search results, the categories are more likely to show up in the search results. So what we do is we add a virtual product, we add the overall star ratings here, and we add like some kind of emojis or things to kind of make it stand out a little bit more to catch the eye. Imagine you're not even sort of number one on the search results. Maybe you're number like 4 or 5, but you're still in view of the user's browser window. You're still at the top of the search. A user's going to be a lot more compelled to sort of click on to trust your site. So if they see the reviews here, that's social proof already. So that's like a very quick win that we can do. And then again, likewise for a product snippet, we often find they're not added. Like reviews in general are missed quite a lot. And I find that even with really, really big sites. Headlights Depot, for instance. So a little bit more about MageCloud. We specialize in month-by-month improvements. And our aim really is conversion rate optimization, customer retention, and building organic traffic. Now, when Headlights Depot first came to us, there's sort of like a case study. When Headlights Depot came to us, they were taking only 50K per month through the website. After working with us for 3 years, they now take between 500 and 600K per month. And we've done like landing pages. That's another really great sort of recommendation for any e-commerce store, really. So say, for instance, if you have sort of software like SEMrush, for instance, you can track the top organic keywords for a given site, and we can really find the low-hanging fruit as well. So Headlights Depot, we went through all of the search terms. So for instance, if you have here like Land Rover headlights, and not only that, so some users will be searching for Land Rover headlights. Some users will be searching for this Land Rover or Range Rover Discovery, and then even the year, because people search in different ways. So for each step, we've built landing pages with content to really get organic rankings for each one of these. And how we do that is we check here like the top organic keywords, and we try to sort it by volume, so volume of searches. And then we find kind of like, okay, what are the quick wins? Keyword difficulty here is 28, and there's 8,100 searches per month. And there's like Casio Ediface. This is the search term. Now, what we tend to find is if you're not ranking too great, it tends to be because it's not very specific towards the search term. So we check the page, and then we think about, okay, is this worth writing a blog post about? Is it worth kind of making even landing pages, etc., etc.? And we just go through it one by one. Again, it takes time, but eventually this is how you get kind of like 500,000-600,000 traffic per month, depending on kind of obviously the niche as well. Hopefully we might have got a URL now, guys. Did we get one yet? Am I able to? Is this the public chat where they're going to post to?
No, they are going to post it somewhere else, but we have not received any URL. So seems like so far all good.
Okay. Right. So what else can we speak about? This is a great one to talk about as well. So core web vitals. Again, this is from my last sort of review that I did for a client. Like I'm doing these like maybe 10 a day. So we really know kind of the process. So again, of course, the performance score like has like a massive impact, right? But what we really need to find, especially with Magento 2, because it's definitely not the fastest platform. Like I know they were saying it's going to be faster than Magento 1 at the beginning, but like as we all know, it's definitely not. So we really need to be focused on the core web vitals as well. So that's definitely, like as a developer, the first contentful paint, first input delay, largest contentful, and cumulative layout shift. Now, how we can kind of combat some of these is like deferring off-screen images, deferring JS as well, unnecessary JS, and adding sort of inline JS that's necessary above the fold. There's a number of things that you can do to improve. And this is another thing I wanted to talk about as well. Very often, as we all know now, Webp is like the industry standard for images. And if you really want to like have a quick win for optimizing your speed, don't get me wrong, we can go on about this subject like all day, like Cloudflare, Redis, Varnish Cache, etc. But what we find, if I sort this by type, what we're finding is vendors or development teams are not converting images to Webp. Now Webp has a much better, I don't know if you can see here, an HTTP1. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, pretty much Cloudways runs on the HTTP2 protocol, which again impacts the speed. But yeah, so I know Cloudflare offer a service that automatically converts all your images rather than kind of downloading them and re-uploading them. But again, that's a really quick win for speed. What else are we checking here? Right, redirects. So let me pull up a site where we can do some redirects. Okay, so what we often find again is chain and redirects. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's try this one. This is on the fly, guys, so apologies. Forbidden. Let's try Bed Kingdom. Okay, can you see here we've got a 302 found. So a 302 redirect is classed as a temporary redirect. So Google's not really treating it as a permanent redirect. So definitely you want to have sort of 301 redirects. And very often we find chaining redirects as well. So if I start off without like HTTPS or HTTP or even with www beforehand, like for instance, like this is a product, you can never really tell if somebody wants to review your product on a blog, social media, wherever, you can't control how they're going to link to your website. So say you are HTTPS and somebody links, there's someone linking to this product because it's really great and they want to do a review about it. Can you see here, HTTP 302 found? But very often what you find is it will first of all redirect to like HTTP HTTPS www, then redirect again to the HTTPS version. And this can all be solved in like one single rule in Cloudways or Cloudflare. So yeah, are we all good with a here we go, UAE microless.
Yeah, Kyle, you have approx 2 to 3 minutes, so if you can cover up that URL.
Okay, right, again. So check the robots file. I don't need to explain about this one. Again, look, as you can see here, there's no sitemap and there's no disallows in there. So if I try and check common URL for sitemap is there, last mod, and you need to be generating daily on that as well. Redirect, so if I quickly find a product, I'm on the wrong one, if I quickly find a product, we can check it, how the redirects are reacting there. I mean, guys, if anyone wants a site review, if you want to kind of drop me a line at kyle@magecloud.net, I'll be more than happy to make a video, jump on a video and do a review for you. So we're checking the redirects here now. Okay, 301 move permanently, perfect. But again, there's multiple versions that you can have. So can you see here? Seems that there's no redirect here. So you definitely want to set up your redirect rules. Canonical tags. Canonical's not defined. Again, you might find duplicating content in Google Index. Let's see. Do you have your H tags on the home page? See, so imagine all of these like quick points. They all seem very basic, but it's really the foundations to any successful store. Like missing H1 tag, just add it there. Let's have a look what's going on with the speed. Let's try. Let's try a speed test here. Google snippet. Let's have a look if you've got your reviews in there. Duplicating content. And by the way, with the duplicating content point, also if you have your own custom filters, you want to be checking for them. Okay, so you've got URL limit, as you can see here, 62 results. Sometimes mode as well also appears, 627. So it really needs tidying up, as you can see. View, ID, none of that. Catalog search. Yeah, so them things are taken care of. Let's have a look at is the Google snippet loaded yet? Done that one wrong. Okay. Speed score. Okay, time to first byte's not too bad, but it seems that you might excessive DOM size. Probably you're using a theme. This is a really difficult one. Well, time-consuming one to optimize when you're using a theme. Often themes generate a lot of unnecessary code, divs inside divs, etc. Optimize your cache. Let's have a look here. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you have got time to live on these images. So it seems, yeah, if you would have converted these images here to Webp, probably you'll save around at least 30% there. And by the way, Webp does support transparent background as well. If we look at the waterfall here, okay, so
just a minute.
Sorry?
I think we need to wrap up this session because another session is starting in 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys, then. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Kyle. Yep. We have the next session starting in 1 to 2 minutes, so please stay tuned. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kyle. Bye-bye.